anyway, this American Redact channel. By the way, I see you guys dong watching over on YouTube. We're going to get to that in just a second. But we're clipping this segment out, so I can't have it.
You can't stop for a dong watch.
Well, I can't stop for a dong watch because this is going to be one of those videos. This is going to be our one video, like the Alex Jones one hit for like 4,000 or 5,000 people last week. This one's good. This is going to be our one that hits. I can't have new people watching the show and subscribing, and then all of a sudden, as soon as they hit subscribe, they hear a guy going, "All right, let's get to dong watching." You know, it's gonna split them. So, as dong often does. It's not a show for you. Just move on by. So American Redact, who I think is he's a little lefty, but I don't think it matters for the sake of this video. He did a video called The Problem with Saudi Arabia's New Comedy Festival. And in my opinion, of the stuff I watched to get information on this, he did the best coverage of it. So we're going to watch a little bit of this. So the controversy is Saudi Arabia, just like they bought WrestleMania, they bought golf. They're just buying a lot of American culture to have it come over and do shows, boxing, UFC, for a time of year called Riyadh season, which is their, concerts, sporting events, that whole thing. It's the new Ramadan, Riyadh season. So they want to do a comedy festival. And one of the loudest guys that took money to do the Saudi Comedy Festival was Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon bragged about it on Rogan, and he started getting his feet held to the fire on it. Like, hey, these guys are garbage. They're bullshit. They've got shitty laws about women. Tim Dillon being a gay dude, they were like, is this really the place you should be performing? And Tim Dillon was kind of honest about it, and he was like, I'm a whore. Like, I'll take money from anybody, and I'll perform, which is the easy way out. I get that, but I also respect that you're not taking a side.
Yeah, but it's honest. Like, you're going, hey, look, I didn't do this gig because I support them politically. I did this gig because I like money and they gave me a bunch of it. And I've never lied. Like, if you lie about it, that's one thing. And if you espouse like, oh, I'm better than like taking gigs for money and I stand by the places, like, but if you just are open about, no, I'm a whore and they money.
If you lack virtue and you make non-virtuous decisions, but you say it's because I have no virtue, there's nothing I can really criticize you on because you've been consistent. You've been honest.
Right.
It's when you're...
None of this is a surprise.
Right. It's when you take money from the Saudis, but then you want to tell us some shit that we do wrong.
Right. Like, now you're a piece of shit.
Now you suck. So let's go ahead and check this out. This is American Redact. The Problem with Saudi Arabia's New Comedy Festival. Now, the one reason why Bill Burr and all these other guys can't say no to the money is because the Saudis throw a shit ton. Oh, so much money at this.
Yeah, there was it's tight. They just went to the desert and just fucking
They were asking me to go to the Middle East soon.
What? Where? Why?
Saudi Arabia and UAE or Dubai.
Dubai?
I think I'm going to pass.
Yeah. For the troops? Is it for the troops?
Not for the troops. What? It's for the Saudis.
For the Saudi princes?
Yeah, and everyone's like, yeah, you should do it. Everyone's doing it. It's like, for Saudis?
Yeah.
Weren't those the 9/11 guys? So I thought. Aren't they exactly the 9/11 guys?
So Shane Gillis is getting a lot of credit for saying no to the Saudis, for turning down the money, right? And a lot of people are giving him a lot of respect for turning down the Saudi money. And it does seem like a bit of a no-brainer. And also, if you take the Saudi money, it's implied in any business dealing that you're kind of an advocate for whoever you're doing business with at the time. And
I'll say this, he needs the money a lot more than, say, Bill Burr does, and he's not doing it.
Yeah.
So like, for Bill Burr, I'm like, you need the cash that bad? You need the bag?
Right. So respect to Shane Gillis. I mean, you're out a lot of money, but like he said, isn't that the 9/11 guys?
All right, so if you heard the news, Saudi Arabia is currently hosting a pretty controversial comedy festival in their capital city of Riyadh, with some of the world's most famous comedians headlining the event. Huge names like Kevin Hart.
Do you want to, I was going to say, do you want to go back to that list and look? We can look later.
Dave Chappelle, and even Bill Burr are being paid millions of dollars to perform there in the next few weeks.
I like that picture.
Oh, there's Crack Amico made a new song. We can listen to it in a little bit about this whole thing. Does Dave Chappelle get a pass because he's a Muslim?
I mean, yeah, if he's Muslim, then
Yeah, because he is. Dave Chappelle is a Muslim, and he's always said, I don't talk about it publicly because I'm not a very good Muslim, and I don't want to be the representative of Islam. So, I mean, does Dave get to go to Saudi Arabia because of his religion? Even
I mean,
if they
it's
are?
at least a country that supports your religion. I could understand wanting to perform for fellow Muslims, so I can give you a little bit of a pass. Plus, like, Dave Chappelle walked away from his career and did all this shit that he did and came back from that. So I feel like he's earned a pass to just do whatever the fuck he wants anyway.
Yeah.
And as you might have already guessed, their fans and their fellow comedians are really hating on them for it.
Now, in fairness, Mark Maron hates on everything, so let's pick somebody else. There are a lot of great reasons to think these guys are bags of shit for taking Saudi money to do a comedy festival there, especially the ones who don't need the money. But let's not make Mark Maron the arbiter of proper outrage.
Maybe it's just because I don't like Mark Maron, but did he get offered a gig in Saudi Arabia?
I don't think.
Let's start with. I'm going to say no.
I'll say this though. I think Mark Maron would say no. I do think he would say no, just so he could go on shows and bitch about the Saudis and how they offered him money.
Since Saudi Arabia has a long record of some serious human rights violations and state-sponsored atrocities that these comedians are just going to ignore while they perform there, I guess.
Yes, exactly. You've got it right.
Entirely the idea.
That's 1,000.
They're here to make jokes.
1,000%. I like it when people like have outrage over something and then the person they're outraged at just confirms. Because at least then you're not paranoid, but you also find out that person doesn't give a fuck. Like, you're like, oh, you guys are just going to perform for these controversial Saudi princes while they pay you shitloads of money, and you're just going to ignore the atrocities? Yes. Yeah. Yes, we are. Unless the check bounces.
Because if they don't, they could literally end their own lives. Like, it's actually illegal to say some things over there. And the crime is punishable by death. Just look at Jamal Khashoggi. So it's just an overall disappointing time to be a fan of comedy right now. And other comedians realize this too. I mean, just the other day, the guy who played Gabe Lewis from The Office, Zach Woods, hilariously summed up the whole thing in a TikTok post. Where he
Guys, Gabe from The Office called out the Saudi Comedy Festival. They're bringing out the big guns.
Dear Lord.
Gabe.
He looks like he hasn't worked since in this particular TikTok.
Bringing out Gabe from The Office as the, like, when Mark Maron's your big gun.
Put everyone there on blast as they're essentially selling their integrity in exchange for enormous quantities of blood-soaked cash.
And let me also say this. I agree with all of these people criticizing this comedy festival. But here's where I break from everyone else. I never expected more out of these people. Like, this is...
I'd like them to stipulate, it's also oil-soaked, not just blood.
Yes, it's soaked in blood and oil, yes. It's like accepting money from Daniel Plainview and Osama bin Laden. But it is one of those things where I keep telling you guys, stop putting these people on a pedestal in the first place. They're all goblins who are out to grab as much cash as they can before it's not their day anymore. So stop putting yourself in a position to be heartbroken over the decisions these unscrupulous bags of shit make. You know?
I take your women's rights.
I take your favorite sex goat, Eli. But it's still like, I do think that this is a shitty thing to do. I don't think you should take Saudi money, but I'm also not surprised, in my opinion,
that they're doing it.
Right. Maybe Louis. I think it's gay that but Louis hasn't been allowed to make a lot of money in the U.S.
And that's where I'm understanding on Louis. I'm like, well, let's be honest. Who's offering you a bag like that?
That's true. Louis's defense could be, you guys aren't letting me make money here. So the Saudis...
These guys applaud me for asking a chick to...
Right. The Saudis bring me into hotel rooms and go, we have brought you many women to jack off in front of Mr. CK. Well, I'm kind of done with that part of my life. You jerk off in front of these women now. Is my daughter not attractive enough to jerk off in front of Mr. CK? You guys are fucked up. So are you going to leave the room? No, because I want to say that Louis C.K. jacked off in front of me too.
Guys, it's that special.
No, it is a different Me Too here in Louis, in Saudi Arabia. Our Me Too is like, no, me too, I want to too.
I can't leave the room. I'm the one who's going to be operating the dollar gun.
Stroke it faster, you ginger slave. Louis doesn't even get on stage the whole festival. They just paid him a bunch of money to whack off in front of them.
Oh.
So when do I go on and do my hour? You just keep whacking off.
You just did.
That's right. I don't have any jizz left. You'll find it. They just keep
He did a much more intimate show.
Yeah.
On his tour.
Mr. CK, stop whacking off. Stop whacking off. We need to refill the dollar gun.
Time of year. It's the Riyadh Comedy Festival, and all of your favorite comedians are performing at the pleasure of Turki Al-Sheikh, and he is the head of the entertainment authority over there, and he has so many people thrown in prison because they tweeted stuff he didn't like about the soccer team or whatever.
Shit.
That there's a wing of a prison nicknamed after him where they hang people by their heels from the ceiling. Now, there's a lot of drip.
See, that sounds morally objectionable.
Yeah, that sounds like, all right, I don't really want your money.
Yeah. I might even have a problem with some of these things.
Killjoys and dweebazoids who are saying, they shouldn't do comedy over there because it's whitewashing a regime that just in June killed a journalist and killed Jamal Khashoggi and played a big role in 9/11. Shut up. Name one comedian who hasn't whored themselves out to a dictator. Sinbad in the 80s would go perform for dying Nazis hidden out in Argentina. Mr. B.
Wait, what? Is he doing a bit?
I don't know, because after learning that Adolf Hitler probably lived out his life in fucking Argentina, and there's a remarkably, I don't know, blonde-haired, blue-eyed persuasion of people over there.
I do not see this.
It's got to be a bit then. It's either a bit or he's
it's
giving
a
us
bit.
true facts. One of the two. And I would guess it's a bit if we have
You know what it is?
It's got to be easily searchable.
It's me having no ability to sense sarcasm anymore because the world is so fucked up. I'm like,
I'd believe it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I'd be like, all right, yep, nope, that tracks.
Gabe, you're cutting too close to the bone. You picked something that could be believable.
Perform for dying Nazis hidden out in Argentina. Mr. Bean would do private shows for Idi Amin.
No, okay, all right. Then he's fucking with us.
Bibi Netanyahu have collaborated. I pitched him a prank show called The West Bank. Let's not get our, moral panties yanked up, wedged high in our rumps. Human Rights Watch has been begging the comedians not to participate in the whitewashing of the horrors that are ongoing in Saudi Arabia. Ugh, what a cockblock.
And don't think for a single second that these so-called free speech warriors are just going to go up on stage and suddenly turn into rebels. Bravely.
See, now that would be ballsy.
If you went there and you spoke truth to power,
Yeah.
but apparently that comes with the death penalty. So no offense, I don't think Whitney Cummings is going that far.
No, I don't. If you're pinning your hopes on women fighting back in Saudi Arabia, on Whitney Cummings depositing a check and then shitting all over the sheikhs in Saudi Arabia, yeah, I'm sorry, this ain't gonna be no revolution. She's gonna go out there. She's gonna be like, "Oh, we really shouldn't be allowed to drive." Oh, we're not here. Oh, okay.
I'll tell you one thing I can't stand: my clitoris. Oh.
In fact, I offered they should just cut it off. Am I right? Yeah. You know what I can't stand? Being able to vote. Oh, it's so stupid.
I hate it when I have to walk somewhere without a man in front of me to lead the way.
Don't you hate it when you experiment in college and the building they take you to the top of to throw you off doesn't have a working elevator? Oh, it's the worst.
Using their
I love that. You know what I'm tired of? My clit. Oh, man, I was coming to the venue today and I forgot my jeans. I forgot the zipper on my jeans. I swear to God, I shouldn't be allowed out without a chaperone. Right.
as some kind of noble protest against the Saudi regime. Their silence has been bought, packaged, and paid for in full. They're going to keep their mouths shut, tell some pretty safe jokes, collect the check, and then fly on home.
Yes.
But there is absolutely
correct. But again, if this disappoints you, you're dumb.
What were you expecting?
Right. And by the way, all these guys will shit on Trump. Well, most of these guys will shit on Trump at a moment's notice.
Oh, right, because he's a horrible piece of shit.
Yeah.
But
which it's fine. He might be a horrible piece of shit, but like, come on.
you're entitled to think that. It's just really weird. You'll speak up to that, and then you'll take the money from these people over here who've done that. But to be fair, they'll pay way more than Donald Trump would.
Right.
no room to deviate from that script. They're not even allowed to make hints at the ugly reality of what the government has done there. Just take a look at what happened to Tim Dillon. He got banned from the festival for something as small as mentioning Saudi slave labor on his podcast. A podcast that he records in America, mind you.
I was fired from the Riyadh Comedy Festival.
And the craziest part about that was that he wasn't even condemning the slavery. He was, in a weird Tim Dillon-y kind of way, spinning it into some dark humor that actually casts it in a positive light.
So there you go. So you can't even joke about he's not
The
even
stuff that they do.
right. He's not speaking out against it. He's just kind of having some
All right,
fun
I'm
with
taking
it.
it back. Fucking what's his name? Dave Chappelle doesn't get a pass on this. You're gonna go there and do that, but you're free speech, whatever. You have the right to say things about people and things, but you're gonna go to this place. I asked the question: how bad do you need that money?
And for him, like, you don't.
Then why?
None at all.
The mere fact that he let the word slavery pass through his lips was enough to get him axed without warning.
Well, they have slaves, then they kill Hey. Get over it. Get over it. So what?
I'm waiting for the but.
So what? They have slaves. So what? My friend, somebody I don't even know. I bumped into them in Tribeca. And he goes, I would never do that because I don't want to interact with slaves. I'm like, well, why not? They'd be deferential, right?
This isn't dark comedy. It's just awkward.
It's just a fat guy yelling in a room by himself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there, but for the grace of God go I. But
I mean, I imagine the slaves in those countries are good at what they do.
That's how extreme the censorship truly is.
see, it's one thing to make that joke and just be here in America and just be detached. It's another thing to be taking millions of dollars from the slavers and then
going there
shitting.
and doing that.
Yeah, like and now he got fired. So now you took a bunch of money, you were eager to perform for the slave guys, and now the slave guys heard you talk about the slaves, so now they fired you. So now you get shit on for taking the money, and now you get double shit on because you didn't even go and perform. Ooh.
Doesn't matter if you say it sarcastically, ironically, or even supportively. The regime doesn't want the word itself uttered, because the word reminds people of reality, and reality is the last thing they want leaking into their carefully manufactured spectacle. So here's Tim's reaction after he got fired.
My agent called me and told me they heard what you said about them having slaves. And I said, I was being positive about it. I was defending them.
So give me your money and let me come do the comedy show.
Man,
I want to meet the slaves.
If you're a comedian or you're an entertainer, just don't take money from the Saudis. Like, I was bummed when the WWE announced that they were doing WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, not this coming year, but the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, guys, it just don't. Like, WWE prides itself on like how women do in WWE and everything else. And then to then go from that to Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania, it's fucking crazy.
He goes, well, I know that. I know you were defending them. I said, I was defending them for having slaves. I literally said slaves are probably hard workers and for the most part agreeable.
And how's that working out for you? Imagine that being your defense. You're like, come on, I was defending slavery.
I was saying it was nice and it was good.
So now, not only are you not getting paid the rest of your money, because he did say they gave him a deposit. So not only are you not getting the rest of your money, but you're also the I'm fine with slavery guy, which is always good.
Not a good look.
But they didn't like that. I was saying that slaves were proud of some of the buildings they built. Now, I am very clear about the way I will do a gig. If I accept a gig, I am not going to break the rules of the gig. So I certainly wasn't going to show up in your country.
Okay, but there's a difference between, like, we're doing a show where you can't do any microaggressions, and then one where they go, look, we have slaves, we chop clits off, and we execute people who go against the government. Don't bring any of that shit up. Well, I follow the rules anytime I do an event.
Anytime I get a gig, all right, so just don't mention our continued human rights atrocities going back to, say, the founding of our country. Just don't mention any of that.
And insult the people that are paying me the money. One, it's illegal. So I wasn't really planning to go to a Saudi jail. But on my own show, in my own country, where I have the freedom to speak and say the things I want, I'm going to be funny and I'm going to be who I am. And if you're not buying that...
Dude, this is such a chicken shit threading the needle fucking approach he's taking to this. It's just...
I'm guys, I was lightheartedly endorsing slavery, but I wouldn't do it while it's there.
Right, I wouldn't do it while I'm there. I'll come home where I'm safe and I'll criticize it from there.
Guys, you own me while I'm there. You don't own me all the time. Like, well, you should have explained that to them up at the front at the beginning, because I feel like they have a different understanding, giving you the size of money that they were throwing at you.
I didn't think Tim Dillon had this much chicken shit in him.
I addressed it in a funny way, and they fired me.
It's just so funny how he's acting shocked that they do something like this.
Right.
Like, he can't believe that the Saudi Arabian government would do something so unbelievable and uncalled for. I mean, I know that comedians aren't the smartest people in the world, but to think that the Saudis won't micromanage every little thing you say leading up to the event is an extremely boneheaded thought. Again, they're paying them to be puppets. Like, they're not allowed to do the comedy that they've been doing for decades whatsoever.
Kevin Hart doesn't need the money.
Kevin Hart doesn't need the money. Right. Why is Kevin... That's where, like, again, I can understand Tim Dillon taking the money. Why is Kevin Hart taking the money?
Bill Burr. Disney money, Bill Burr. Netflix money, Dave Chappelle. Dude.
Things that Tim Dillon said that got him fired were, in fact, nothing burgers, as one would say. But
he loves those, by the way. They're delicious.
A government that throws women in prison for simply taking off their abaya in public, even the tiniest joke is treated like a national security threat.
My Islamophobia and my love of bacon are completely separate things.
Not only that, you can go to Muslim countries and yell, I love bacon. There's no laws against it.
I will be doing it at the Riyadh Comedy Festival very soon. Get your tickets. Get your tickets.
Are you really going to go there?
Of course I
am. Look at that. Even Rogan is like, dude, this is kind of fucked up.
Are you really going to go there?
You really going to go do that?
Of course I am.
Of course I'm going to Saudi Arabia. Of course I'm unscrupulous. This is why I tell you guys, like, don't ever believe in these people. Laugh at them. Enjoy their humor and their comedy and everything else, but don't ever, like, believe in these people. Like,
Stop putting them on a pedestal like they're somehow morally or in any way superior.
Carlin's dead physically and spiritually, all right? And he's not coming back.
Thanks a lot for that reality check.
Why would I not? Would they kill gay people and women? By the way, we've said that about, we say this about every Muslim country is throwing gay people off the roof all the time, by the way. Okay? I obviously don't agree with Saudi Arabian policies on women and things like that.
Okay, you're fired. Like, right there, you're fired now. So don't take the fucking money, because you know if you voice the fact that you don't agree, they're not going to give you the money. They don't want you there. So if you want to say that, it's the having it both ways thing that kind of annoys me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then getting indignant when, and they've fired me because I said this stuff. Like, yeah,
right.
That should have been a given.
Don't, like, have a backbone or don't. Don't cherry pick when you're going to have a spine. You
It's
know,
only when the check doesn't clear.
right. And you know what? I'll say this is probably a weird take. Good for Saudi Arabia for firing him. Saudi Arabia is the only consistent ones in this whole thing. And Shane Gillis, of course. But like,
Sadly.
Saudi Arabia is like,
that's right.
Saudi Arabia is not like we're compromising our morals and meeting you in the middle. No, they're not.
No. They're buying you to appear better. Their
Right.
morals are not to be questioned or changed.
Dance for us, boy.
Is it my business to tell Saudi Arabia how to live? Truly.
How big was the check?
$375,000 for one show.
Nice.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
I'll take that.
I'll watch it be
Oh,
handing for
never
that.
mind. There goes Rogan.
Rogan's in.
Yep, we had him for a second, guys. We had Joe for a second.
Now we got to go back to the poster and see if there's been a late edition.
All right.
Yeah, it's called a behanding. What happens is they cut the hand off the thief.
And I know some of you might be thinking that for the amount of money that Saudi Arabia is paying, anybody would be an idiot not to go, which is only fair if they were being paid Cristiano Ronaldo money, okay? They're not though. And in my opinion, they're not even being paid anywhere close to an amount that justifies going. Like on the same podcast that got Tim fired from the festival, he actually mentions how much everyone was getting paid to perform there, listing figures as high as 1.6 million and as low as 150K.
Dude, if you're going to Saudi Arabia for 150K and you morally... Okay, let me give this qualifier. If you're totally fine with what Saudi Arabia does, take the money, go do a show. Like, obviously, there's no moral...
Take the money
problem.
and run.
But, like, if it bothers you what Saudi Arabia does... Like, I don't ever want to hear any of these guys on their podcast talk about the Muslim world ever again. You don't get to. Because obviously you don't have a moral problem with it. You're just grandstanding. Because if you had a moral problem with it, you wouldn't have let it be washed away with blood and oil money.
Right.
So never again do you get to talk about any of this stuff being bad. Because all it took for you to abandon your principles is 150K.
You're coming out and saying you're doing the Saudi thing for money. They're paying you a lot of money. I'm not going to tell you how much they're paying me. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much they're paying me $375,000.
I'm not going to tell you. God, gay people just love God, even when they try not to. They just got to gossip.
It's like an involuntary reflex.
Right.
One show. Now, a lot of other people are getting 1.6 million. That's not me. I'm not in that bracket. But they're giving me 375. Others are getting 150. Why are they doing it? Here's the point.
If this is true and 1.6 mil is the highest they're paying people, then this is more pathetic for the comedians than I'd ever thought. Don't get me wrong, $1.6 million is a lot of money, but for the impact that this is going to have on their reputations, it's really not enough, especially for someone like Kevin Hart.
So Kevin Hart's worth at least $100 million.
So again, why no offense, why are you getting out of bed to do a gig for $1 million? If it's in your neighborhood, like in your state, okay.
Right. Let's say, okay, let's say he's getting $1 million. He's got $100 million in the bank. It's like you're walking around, you're out with your family, you got $100 in your pocket, and someone goes, hey, will you come over here for like an hour and I'll give you $1? And you're like, no, get the fuck out. I got better shit to do. And by the way, the person giving you the $1 is one of the most morally reprehensible people in your neighborhood. And he wants you to work with him on something. And you can't criticize the nasty shit he does. But here's $1. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Whose net worth is something close to $500 million.
Oh, 500 million. So it's like giving him 50 cents. No.
So now it's
20
making
cents.
your analogy worse because it's inadequate. He's getting even less money.
I got $500 and you're offering me $1.
Don't even get me started on the people who accepted the 150K. That's possibly the funniest thing to come out about this festival. Like, sure, 150K is a lot to most people on Earth, but these comedians easily clear that on tour, where, might I just add, they're allowed to say pretty much whatever they want.
Right.
A guy like Theodore von Kurnatovsky III literally makes 150K in one night. Just take a look at one of his pay stubs
Wait, is he
that someone
going?
leaked online not too long ago. So this is just some absolute scumbaggery coming from a lot of these court jesters.
Online?
It's what I'd expect from people like Andrew Schultz and Whitney Cummings, but Bill Burr honestly caught me off guard. I love the guy and was hoping he'd try and make a stand for what he believes in when he performs there.
Doesn't he have a black wife? Like, wouldn't the slavery thing be an issue?
You'd think.
Huh.
You'd think and supposedly a lot of the people are like, well, Bill listens a lot to his wife. It's like, well, apparently not. You'd think she'd be opposed to this.
Right.
Tim Dillon was fired for even mentioning slavery in his own country. I'm pretty sure Bill Burr's just going to play it safe, which makes him no better than anyone else on the list. And him performing there just hollows out everything he preaches about on his podcast. I mean, he's even recorded himself talking smack about people who accept money from the Saudi government way back in 2011, which now that he went and performed there, just sounds like jack shit when you go back and listen to it again.
Because no one ever raises money for terrorists, right?
Uh-oh.
I guess, unless you do a comedy show in, like, Saudi Arabia. Isn't that what they do? That's how they raise money with their filthy fucking oil money.
Uh-oh.
But hey, as one...
At least they wrote you a check this time.
Yeah, right? Boy, well, the thing's 14 years
Jesus,
to do.
I hope they don't hear his fucking podcast clip. You make it fun.
One legend of the channel sadly fades into the background. Another rises up to fill the void, as Mark Maron has been one of the comedians calling out the Riyadh disaster.
Bro, Mark Maron is like a cockroach. Like, his podcast goes away. You're like, well, it's not Mark Maron Day anymore. And then he pops up with the Rogan stuff. Now he's popping up with the Riyadh stuff. Is it time to say that maybe Mark Maron is the hero we didn't know we needed?
He's the one we deserve.
Maybe.
For lately, just as I thought Bill Burr would.
And don't get me started about the Riyadh Comedy Festival.
Oh, I think I saw that. Yeah, that looks
You
like.
think you saw it? How is it?
Oh no, I did see that. Yes,
it's under the radar.
Yeah.
That all these huge acts. I can name names.
Yeah.
But you can just go look it up. We're offered complete ridiculous amounts of the bloodiest money on the planet. But it's like, does it just come to that? And look, I can maintain this position because one, I wasn't asked.
Right.
Of course, that's always with
nice.
me.
I kind of like that. I don't think I wasn't.
I know I wouldn't, but it's like, does history not matter at all? I mean, literally, it's like the Riyadh Comedy Festival from the guys who brought you 9/11. Do you know?
I'm going to start
liking
liking Mark if he keeps this.
I'm telling you, Mark Maron's not bad. I've always liked him. His politics are annoying, but like, he's right on this one. And he had an IFC show called Maron. It was pretty good. I like Mark.
I liked him in the thing about the female wrestling league because he was the manager in
Glow.
Glow. Yeah, I loved him in Glow.
Just nostalgia.
Well, there's a Riyadh Comedy Festival. I don't know if you've heard about that. This is true. There's a Riyadh, Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival. I mean, how do you even promote that? I mean, the same guy that's going to pay them is the same guy that paid that guy to bonesaw Jamal Khashoggi and put him in a fucking suitcase. But don't let that stop the yucks. It's going to be a good time. Full disclosure, I was not asked to perform at the Riyadh Comedy Festival, so it's kind of easy for me to take the high road on this one. Easy to maintain your integrity when no one's offering to buy it out, you know.
At least
honestly
he's
don't think
the most honest guy involved in this whole thing.
So far, yeah.
It's fucking
I'm just
gross,
looking at
man.
all the pictures on here, and some of them I'm surprised at.
Do any
Like,
of these people need money?
a lot of them that I'm seeing, no.
Like
Like,
even
the
the lower
closest I can-
end, like Chris DiStefano.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's a certain amount of sense. Here's where I'll say the people in the red pictures, maybe.
Sebastian Maniscalco doesn't need a fucking dime from the Saudis. They're doing this because they want to. Louis, I'm sure Louis still got plenty of money.
I don't know, but if you told me he needed the money, I'd understand.
This is the most offensive thing Louis C.K.'s ever done.
that these comedians or their managers realized just how much people were going to trash them for doing this event. Because Bill Burr performing in Saudi Arabia is not really the same as Ronaldo playing soccer there for $700 million.
Right. I mean, we're talking.
Like, he's not changing what he does in this particular. He just played soccer. It's still kind of. I will say this: if are we grading on a curve now? What things are okay to do for the dictator's money? Like, what's the
list?
It's
a good point. Yeah, what are you allowed to do with the Saudi money? Look, my final take on the thing is good for Shane Gillis, even more so than Mark Maron because he was asked and didn't go.
He was asked and didn't go.
The rest of them, you take the money, do your show, but don't get mad. Like Tim Dillon, don't get pissy because people are calling out what you're doing. They're not lying about you. They're not making shit up about you. They're just saying this is what you're doing. It's fucking gross. Take your money, have a good time, enjoy yourself, but don't expect us to be happy for you that you got this big payday.
Yeah, no, and especially in Tim's case, don't get all upset with us that you didn't get this payday because you thought you somehow had the right to speak and object,
right?
Just because you were in your own country.
It is understood that if you take the Saudis' money, you do their bidding. So don't try and pull that middle ground shit where you're like, I'll take the Saudis' money, and then while I'm here safe in the United States, I'll take a few funky, funny little pot shots at slavery. It's like, no, you know that if you and you know if you take their money, you're their bitch. So either be their bitch and be a good boy and do your jokes that are inoffensive to the Saudis, or don't take their money and fucking slam the shit out of them. But don't do both. That's just chicken shit.
That's right. We will never see Bill Burr slam the shit out of Disney's bullshit.
Right.
They've paid him way too much to talk bad about it.
I think they're fucking kids. Trucker 18-wheeler with $4.99 says, did Johnny send you the link that fats and blacks are the same? Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God, no.
No Pen 15 Fathead with a gifted membership. Thank you very much. Silver Wolf with a gifted membership. Silver Wolf with 3 of them. Los Federales with a gifted membership. We're going to do some dong watching in a second now that segment's up. Balls Deep with $5 says Saudi leadership isn't dumb. We'll get to that one in a second. And Gray Duckling says, are you telling me you wouldn't MC it for $100K? Now, this is kind of the Mark Maron question. It's easy for me to say no because I'm not going to get offered.
You're not getting offered?
But I would like to say,
I need the money that badly that maybe.
I would like to think I wouldn't. I would like to think I wouldn't go do it for $100K.
I see, here's where they're mentioning the amounts, and I'm like, yeah, you're kind of a piece of shit for doing that, but I know I'd never get offered that amount, and it's because that, I'd never get offered that amount. I kind of need it, I'm in a financial area where that could really help me, so, maybe I could turn a blind eye if it means my daughter's kind of set up, and I can take care of her for the rest of my life, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I can work with that quite a bit. In a lot of ways.
Chevy fan's mad at me. He says, Tim's not upset, dumbass. He got paid $175K to not go. No, I'm saying he's a chicken shit because he took money from the Saudis, then tried to blast him while he was here.
And then got pissed that they fired him.
So, yeah, it's a coward's move. It's a coward's move.
Here's what I'll say. Sounds kind of like if you took the Tim Dillon part out of it and you just told me about this series of events, sounds kind of like a bitchy gay guy.
Oh, here. Make it Mark Maron. I bet you wouldn't defend him as much. Make it Bill Maher that did it. I bet you wouldn't defend him as much. All right, let me go through. We missed a lot of contributions during that segment. We went through the YouTube ones. Let's do the Rumble ones. Make sure. Oh my God, there's a
lot of Rumble.
I gotta go way up here. Okay, here we go. Chevy fan with $5 says this is a better explanation than yours. Oh yeah, let's end with the Crack Amico thing. $1 from Redbird says, when are people going to realize that with a few exceptions, anyone that goes into comedy was the class clown that never matured past high school and decided he was too cool to get a normal job? $1 from Professor Tie-Dye. Why does Aaron sound like he's getting a semi whenever he speaks about slavery? But I don't do that. $2 from Joey Caravello says, I hope Bert Kreischer goes and is arrested for homosexual acts. Well, just doing his set. Lab Glass with $2 says there's less free speech in Britain than Saudi Arabia. Yeah, but there's a lot of other shit that goes on in Saudi Arabia that does make them objectively worse than the UK. Veldrain with $1 says, of course I won't break my contract. They'd drop me faster than a guy admitting to sodomy. What's that? I'm fired? Well, that's gay. That's true. That's what Tim Dillon did.
Yep.
Veldrain, we did that one. I think we're going over some of the Yeah, Rumble does that from time to time. They get a weird duplication. All right. Well, thank you guys for that. Hey, 150 away from this morning. Thank you very much. Keep it up. Silver Wolf threw in 15. So we got to put him in second place. Silver Wolf, $15. Sergeant Hulka now in third at 14. Long Ball in fourth with 10. And Redbird is in the cuck chair with 10. Mondays are difficult like this.
Yep.
And there's Cody with his 10 falling out of the top 5. Thank you guys very, very much. I need to update Gray Duckling with another 2. He's thrown 18 in today. Thank you. All right. 150 away from today and 46 memberships away from 600. Guys, keep this thing going. You're on pace and you're doing great. I appreciate it. Should we go do the Dong Watch from a little bit ago?
Yeah, let's do the Dong Watch from a while ago.
All right, we got No Pen gifting one to Steph. Los Federales gifting one to Jason St. George. Oh, I'm sorry, Silverwolf gifting one to Jason St. George. Los Federales gifting one to Ashley. Silverwolf gifting one to Nightwave. That means they watch a lot. Silverwolf also gifting one to Great Shinobi Owl. Oh man. So the Dong Watch is still
on. No luck for the Dong.
We still got the Dong Watch.
I'm never going to feel good about saying
Shit.
that. All right. I'll send you the link to this. I'm sure you've seen it. This is the lady that was complaining about Ozempic. And so we hit a lot of
we did sources. This one. Is this the one who thinks it's genocide?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
It's the Ozempic genocide one.
We did play that one.
Yeah,
we did.
I kind of figured.
Balls deep. The Saudi leadership isn't done. We'll get to that one in a second here. Bleezer says, I've been liking Tim Dillon less and less lately. He has mainstream media takes. I don't know if I'd go that far about Tim. All right, guys, keep it up. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. We got an hour and a half left. We're 150 away. I think if you guys keep it up the way you've been going, I think we're good. I think we're solid for today. So thank you so much. Okay, off we go. This is, I think this is the one from Balls Deep.
I say this in English so you can understand what I'm saying.
I have translation.
No, I know you have translation, but I just want to make sure you get it right. There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of the lack of decision making, trying to be politically correct, or assuming that they know the Middle East and they know Islam and they know the others far better than we do. And I'm sorry, but that's pure ignorance.
So he's saying a lot more Muslim terrorism or a lot more white.
I don't know who's
white
doing
people
the terrorist
lashing
extremism. I don't know.
So you got the UAE foreign minister criticizing Europe's woke immigration policy. Wow, you know you fucked up when even a guy in a Muslim country is like, look, man, you're fucking up, big time.
Actually, I think what he's kind of saying is like, look, you guys don't get it. You're like these people. We wouldn't let this slide. You totally are. It's gonna bite you in the ass.
Right. All right, let's keep it going. I did say we'd do the Crack Amico song. Crack Amico made a song about the Riyadh Comedy Festival. It's called Riyadh Money. Here it is. We'll play like a minute or two of this.
It's Billy Burka.
Yo, Billy Burka.
We get Riyadh money, baby. It's brutal.
Alla shiki Luigi Manjo. Hey, in my feel Luigi Manjo.
Yo,
we getting Riyadh money.
Yeah.
We getting Riyadh money. I am a cook, I got a shitty black and white.
Yeah.
I am a cook, I got a shitty black and white.
It's brutal.
We getting Riyadh money.
Yo,
We getting Riyadh money.
Now that Riyadh money got them selling they souls. If they wasn't telling jokes, they be selling they hoes. They do anything for dollars, even say a prayer to Allah. Balaclavas on their faces just to pack out a show. Whoa, Chris Stefano, I had to let you know this festival might rest your soul. They colder than the Eskimos. The episodes you drop must not be making no sense. Mr. Ross only going cause there's no age of consent. Guess the rules.
Oh, God. So I didn't know Jeff Ross was going, so that's another one.
Master General demoted to Lieutenant. I'm the Lord of this land. I'm evicting these lieutenants who didn't expect Tommy Buns to take the Saudi funds. Probably for a Rolex he don't give the kids a mommy none. Aziz needs this. I'm rooting for him in the end. Cause how could you get canceled for being a horny Indian? Can't believe what I'm seeing is Pete Davidson. Made a lot of money, but I guess he ain't been saving none. Never forget. Well, I guess he forgot. Now he performing for the animals that took out his pops. Does he?
Not incorrect. Yeah, I never thought of that.
That is very, very, very hard. Wow.
Pete Davidson built his whole gimmick on my dad died on 9/11, and now he's going to perform for the people that produced the 9/11 hijackers.
Great.
I think that's what the kids call a bad look.
Even know? And shit, probably got bad friends like Saudi Santino and Hammurabi Lee. Pulled that little penis out on stage where he gonna be a goner first time out in the country. Unless we count in Tijuana. I wonder why.
Oh, the Tijuana reference.
What's the Tijuana reference?
There's a rumor that Bobby Lee, or no, he admitted it. He told the story on his show that he had sex with an underage girl in Tijuana.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
They canceled on Tim Dillon. Probably cause they heard about the men that he been drilling. Not ratting, I'm chin chilling. But what about Miss Whitney? Voice for strong women? Bitch, you gotta be shitting me. I remember you vividly, Simon D'Elia wickedly. You headed to a place where they treating women maliciously, beating the bitches viciously, physically dominating hoes. Silver lining, we can't see her body when it's draped in robes. She gon' fit right in with the ancient ruins. Hey Sebastian, what are you doing? They go for payroll, do whatever you say so. Kirsten, haven't you seen what they do to gay hoes? Squeeze you like your Play-Doh, on God, they'll murk you. Or maybe they invited you to make you wear a burqa. Mark and Sam, they might be drunk. And if they say the wrong thing, they might be sliced and chunked inside the trunk of a fucking Cybertruck. Now this just don't seem worth a little subscriber bump. Chappelle turned down millions and went to Africa. Now we headed back just to hack for some human traffickers. Louis, please, you're selling your soul, brother. Used to think you was the GOAT, now you hanging with goat fuckers. How the fuck could Kev possibly need any more cheese? Another divorce? Jeez, stop fucking these whores, please. Saudi see this little midget, they'll chase him like Voorhees. When machetes hope you ready to drop to your knees. Oh, Billy Bird, a Beantown hypocrite. I'll admit when you was dissing mustard, I ain't give a shit. But now you headed to a place they pay your wife to feel her hair. Hates white billionaires, loves brown trillionaires. Cringe ginger screaming out free Luigi. Sucking so much Saudi dick that you gon' need a squeegee for the cleaning of the semen and demons from rubbing genies. Your opinion means nothing, shut your mouth fucking weenie. I know it's people that sharing the same feelings. What a shame, all these lames with these hijacking plain villains. Shout out to Shane Gillis, a true American patriot. Declined the Saudi offer cause he knew that shit would make him sick. For the rest of y'all, enjoy your little festival. I really hope that they don't chop off all your breast and balls. Sorry guys, just being a broke hater. I'll just say congratulations and welcome to Al Qaeda.
Wow. That was more than just a minute.
Oh, it's pretty goddamn good.
You couldn't stop.
Like, I couldn't stop. I mean, that would I felt like it would be disrespectful if I didn't let the whole thing go. Holy
that's
shit.
Quite good.
Crack Amico.
Quite good.
Just crack Amico on YouTube. Go like, subscribe, comment, whatever. After you do it here, then go watch it